Hello, Pontiff.
Hey, how are you, my friend Lord?
Good, good, doing
It's
great.
an honor to have you on the Archie Luxury channel, the flagship channel there. And today we're going to do an interview with you regarding one of the loves of our lives,
Yes.
Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton.
Look, I mean, it's really a privilege for me and an honor. I remember the first time I discovered your channel, which was late 2014, early 2015. I already had my sub. I had my root beer, and I was in the market for a third watch, which of course ended up being a steel stunner by your recommendation. But I remember I found one of your videos talking about watches in this quasi posh accent as Archibald Chesterfield III. And I was taken by it immediately because it was full of knowledge, but also a good sense of humor, tongue in cheek. And then I started, going through the channel and realized that you were one of those people who had an entire range of interests that were all tied together by a sense of tradition, uh, artisan work, and luxury. And that's when I discovered that you had all these videos about Louis Vuitton, your own collection, the history of the company, and the way you advised people, at least in the past, on eBay, authenticating products. And I was like, okay, this guy has a depth of knowledge and lifestyle that I need to more. I need to know more. So this is also an occasion for me to ask some questions, I hope, to you.
Well, let me just tell you this, Lord. So, just to give you, I've never told anyone this, but I'll do this as an exclusive for your interview here.
Thank you. And no one is watching anyway, so it's between the two of us.
Nobody's watching. Exactly. Exactly. Um, Look, Lord, I got to tell you, what happened to me is that, when I had a nice lower middle class background, my parents really weren't into luxury goods. My dad wanted to buy investment properties.
Hmm.
So every spare dollar he had wasn't spent on frivolous jewelry or things like that. It was spent on, he liked shares, and
Ad wasn't.
he liked shares, he liked property. One thing I do remember is he was never stingy on food. We didn't go to restaurants, but we always had nice food. Okay. And what happened is when I was when I was 15, my mother died. She had cancer, breast cancer. And
May she rest in peace.
yeah, exactly. It's a very tricky. Actually, I'll show you a photo. I'll show you a photo from
Please.
that time there. There's a photo.
Yes. With a nice briefcase in hand, of course.
Yeah, yeah. This wasn't a Louis Vuitton one, but it was still a premium store, premium high street store.
Cool.
And that's a YSL tie I pinched from my dad. And the thing is, I got to tell you, I thought to myself, what is life? You start to question what's the reasoning behind these things. And I thought, you know what? I'd like to try the best stuff in the world. I remember I was in high school. As I said this story before, we did home economics, which is basically home economics is like it's a social sciences subject where you learn how to cook, you learn how to do some sewing, a bit of fashion actually. It was actually a really good subject, really. And they said the cheapest form of protein is liver. And then I took the Helson, what's that guy? Helson Husenberg, that guy?
Mm.
Where he tries to make the most expensive version of something, the best. I sort of did the same thing. Well, hang on a minute. The cheapest source of protein is liver. What's the most expensive? What's the most tasty source of protein? Does that make sense?
Yeah, you went to the diametric opposite, basically.
Exactly. And, I got to tell you this. I remember years ago, I was intrigued by the class system because I remember when I was in preschool. So preschool was, that's just before year one. And I remember I had cashews. And one of the other kids said, "What are those?" He never had seen cashews. He'd had peanuts. But cashews were like an exclusive rich man nut. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And it turns out peanuts aren't even nuts anyhow.
Although I appreciate, some cocktail
So,
peanuts, the right blend of
yes,
Scotch. But
you understand the story. So I got to tell you, now the problem is, of course, I didn't have the means or the ways to be able to afford this stuff. This stuff is expensive, expensive. And Louis Vuitton, it's always been expensive. It's relative to the money at the time. I remember in the late 90s, I was doing really well. Well, I thought I was doing well. I wanted a Louis Vuitton briefcase, a diplomat. I remember a diplomat in green because
so
the president was too
smaller than
expensive.
the president,
It's one
right?
square inch smaller. And I remember I've still got the catalog. They gave me a catalog. I wrote the price in. It was 4,400. I remember thinking, that's expensive. I remember thinking that is so expensive.
We have a super chat.
Super chat. Anthony, $5. Your old man is loaded because he invested his cash. Pontiff, you're always skint because you blow your cash on luxury goods. Thank you, Anthony. The only thing is, you can sell these luxury goods. It's not blown. If I got to tell you something, I've just read a new book there, Lord.
Yes.
The book is called Die with Zero.
I remember some of your viewers were suggesting it for you.
Yeah. And what it basically says, what the whole guts of this book is, it's saying you should buy experiences. Experiences are something that molds you into the man or woman you become. So you want to invest in experiences, like somebody who's been to London, they've been to Asia, they've been here, they're very well-rounded. You can't just at 70 years of age start flying everywhere and suddenly become experienced. You need that breadth of scope. You know what I mean? So they're saying invest in experiences. Don't just. They also say balance, because I think you do need some balance. You need to have some investments. You need to have you'd like to own a house or some sort of apartment. You don't want to just be living hand to mouth. Mr. Zoso, $5. Was nice watching you sleep, Arch. Reminded me of my dad. Can't wait till we break bread. Thank you. Thank you very much there. By the way, Lord, I've been dealt a very severe punishment for telling off the badger. The council, Sirocco, Plastic, Sovereign, they have decided a punishment fit with the deed I have committed.
Oof. And what would that be?
I've got to eat flaky pastries in the BMW. Flaky pastries, sausage roll, pasty.
Small pleasures. Enjoy.
Don't worry, I'm going to film this with style. Don't worry, Lord. I'm going to have this set out. It's going to be uploaded today. But, Lord, the thing is this. I digress very quickly. Luxury goods, Louis Vuitton. The thing about Louis Vuitton is it was always expensive. And I had to work out a way. Same as watches. I could never afford to buy this stuff retail. I was earning good money, but this was in the early 90s, late 80s, they were still a lot of money. They were not cheap. They were always, the bar was higher than the ability. Does that make sense?
Of course. I mean, they have introduced an entire fashion line and have grown exponentially since 1997. But like you said, even before then, this was a brand that has been handed down the generations and growing with each generation into a new proportion. And having been the inventors of the modern trunk, they really came a long way to represent what luxury is to many people, even today.
My first love of Vuitton, when I was in grade 11, I had a friend, he was upper middle class.
Mhm.
And I remember his parents, they were richer than my parents. And I remember he had his dad, they just got an Alfa Romeo, and I was in love. I always loved Alfa Romeo. He got an Alfa Romeo 75 twin spark. And he used to bring classic car magazines. The first classic car, I never realized these things existed. It was called Classic Car and Sports Car. And inside there, they had advertisements. Actually, I think they were advertisements for Tiger leather. Tiger. I think Tiger was starting to hit then, or if it wasn't Tiger, it was their expensive products. And I got to tell you something. Yep, like that Tiger. That's a diplomat in the background with a president. You can see the right next to that. And that's a Moscovich in front there. You have the little handle, Moscovich.
I have some story
Beautiful.
to tell about one of those quite soon, a little bit later. Yeah.
Here we go. Dennis K, $2.80. Lord and AC3 Ultimate 2-piece combo meal deal. Thank you so much there, Lord. So I've got to tell you, I started seeing this stuff, and you know what my dream was, Lord? I had a
Yes,
few
sir.
dreams in life, okay? I wanted to have an E-type Jaguar.
Mm.
You know the E-types, don't you? That's like the classic, beautiful Jaguar. And I wanted to have some Louis Vuitton luggage in it. I could go away for the weekend with a beautiful woman.
Well, you got most of it, I think, already set. You are married to a
And I
beautiful.
also, the other dream was also to have a convertible vintage Mercedes and go for a picnic with a beautiful woman. Sometimes, Lord, you don't want your dreams to come true. The Mercedes, I was looking after it for a friend, and I said to my wife, "Let's go for a picnic." And at the last minute, she said, "Do you mind if we take the Honda instead of the Mercedes?" Yankee Doodle, $5. When I see grown men carrying or wearing luxury goods like LV, etc., I lost a bit of respect for them. They seem to have their I totally agree with you. To be honest with you, it's funny Yankee Doodle says that. Like, my wife said to me, "How about we get you an Hermes belt, the big H?"
Hmm.
Or how
Yeah.
about we get, and I said to her, I can't think of anything more horrible than actually wearing douchebaggy than
No, I
I
I agree.
totally,
I think that's one thing we share. Remember you
mind
said
you, the line between douchebag and cool, I often cross it. Well, I say,
yeah,
well, I'm very hypocritical. I admit I'm hypocritical.
it's blurred, but remember again, the first memory that came to your mind when it came to Louis Vuitton was a newspaper, or rather a magazine ad, and it was the Taiga leather. And I think we should
Yes.
have something in common there. Of course, you have pieces with the monogram as well, but what I really appreciate about their Taiga leather is how subtle it is, how
Mm,
unrecognizable it is, unless you have
mm.
a trained set of eyes.
Well, this is the whole thing. The tiger leather is the leather which doesn't have LV plastered all over it. This is like the connoisseur's Louis Vuitton. This is for the person who wants to be, and that's in burgundy. Is that burgundy or was that gray? Sorry, what's that one there?
Burgundy.
That's, you know, so the first color they did was the green. Then the burgundy came out later.
And I have this duffel bag that I also really appreciate because how usable. It is.
Yes.
That's
By
in
the way,
Tiger.
Tiger Leather came out in 93. 93. So I think yep, that's when I was sort of interested in classic cars. 93. I was actually. So the original ones would have been, I think the first ad was a red Epi actually, from memory. But
Mhm.
in the early 90s, the Tiger was going, this was a new release. Sorry, show me your duffel bag. What's your duffel bag? You got that there?
Yeah. Um, so this is something,
Yeah, they're beautiful.
and
See, I think that's much better than just a monogram keeper, don't you think?
of course. I mean, look, I like being again. I do embrace the aspect of my personality that is full blown douchebag, no doubt about that. But for the
Yes.
most part, I like usable pieces that are discreet and that don't attract undue attention, and that's why I agree with Yankee Doodle as well, right? When it comes to certain pieces, it seems like you are really all trying look at me and nothing else. And
I
I
got to
don't
tell you,
necessarily.
Lord, this is probably my favorite piece. So this here is a Louis Vuitton Tiger President Classier.
Mm,
We've got the German silver hardware, the palladium hardware. Palladium. It's actually German silver.
beautiful.
This here is in the Adios, which is their grey black color.
Fantastic.
And I've actually, you know what, Lord? I've actually had three of these. I've had three of these.
In the same color.
And exact same color. They're not the same one. I've actually had three. And the first one I got, it had such a great story. It was used in a photo shoot for Murdoch's, Rupert Murdoch's News Corporation.
Ah.
And what happened was it was damaged. The model had a hissy fit and dropped it. So with Louis, it got a ding on the corner. Louis Vuitton doesn't take it. They will lend you stuff, but you must return it in perfect condition. So they had to buy it at full price, no discount. Because I remember that one. Then I bought another one and I sold it during COVID. And then, you know what? I'm so great. I don't think I'm going to ever sell this one here. This is one I achieved. I got this one here. And I got to tell you, I'm not selling it. This is the piece. Look, you've always got pieces. When you're a collector, you always have pieces that got away. You had a piece, then you sold it, and you wish you hadn't have sold it. But I was very fortunate. The other piece I really regret selling was I had a Tiger Elsa, the Elsa suitcase. I sold it, and I can't replace that. But it is what it is. You can't keep everything. Sometimes in life, hey, I like to very laissez-faire approach. They come easy. You enjoy them a bit, swap them, trade them, try something else. I don't have enough money just to keep everything. But I got to tell you, this President briefcase here, this is absolutely absolute. I just love it. I love it in that hardware as well. The white palladium hardware. Unfortunately, so this is the President. They've stopped making these except for special order. They used to release, whenever they released a new color, they would release a President. But unfortunately, the fashion's what they are. See, this is a man bag. This is a proper men's bag. The other thing is with the President, I remember seeing this diamond dealer, this Jewish diamond dealer who had a monogram one, and his wife bought it for his 50th. And I thought, 50th or 40th. I was only in my 20s when I saw it. I thought, what an amazing briefcase to have. It just blew my mind. I thought, wow. You know what I mean?
You know,
And
I
now,
what I really like about the one you have, again, the brass hardware is of course iconic, but with that color, the black gray, with the palladium, it just looks so special. And again, only an aficionado can recognize that, and it's just very unique and beautiful.
100%. I'm just going to pull up some pictures for you there, if you don't mind, there, Lord, just to get the right ambience here. Have a look at this, Lord. So that's my 4 presidents.
Amazing.
By the way, the green one just came back from repair.
You told me about that. I wanted to talk also in some depth about the repair process with you, so we can inform the audience also about how, like you said, you can get a certain kind of luxury item at a discount, at a fraction, right? You get a nice, well enough preserved piece, and then you get it restored by the makers themselves. But tell me more about this green taiga.
Okay, so look, I got to be honest with you. These here, so you can see I've got the monogram. That monogram, when I bought that, it was actually pretty minty. I'm the one who's abused it, and it's gone. That's gone many trips overseas with me. You can see the corners are worn there because you put it into the luggage hole. It slides around a bit, and this. So the monogram one is my one to use. That's the one to use and abuse. You know what I mean? It's not a museum exhibit. This is a piece to use, and I think it picks up
with your monogram. Right.
See, actually, that monogram there. Now, I used to say what it actually is. That's a combination of my name and my wife's name.
That's
true. Hiromi Paul Pluta. That's what the initials stand for. So people can't work it out what it is. I did say Hiroshio. It's actually Hiromi Paul. So that's a combination of our names. You see?
Nice. You fooled me there. I thought that you did have Horatio as one of your names.
No, that's what it was. Because it's without her, I couldn't achieve these collections.
Very true.
Because she's when I married her, she had 70,000. We needed a house deposit, and she's a registered nurse, and we needed her income, and we've done really well. Without her, I wouldn't have achieved a fraction what I've achieved. So it's so I just want to show you the president. Sorry, so the first one is the monogram one, which I've had painted.
She comes first. That's also important before we move on, right?
Exactly.
It only comes
100%. And by the way, the reason I love that woman, okay? All women can give you the shits at times, right? Let me tell you the story of a good woman, okay?
Please.
So basically, we had paid our car off. We had a Honda Accord. My dad had actually given me $9,000. The note, there was 18 remaining. I put 9 in. My dad put 9 in, and we paid it off. Anyhow, fast forward a couple months, and I wanted to buy an annual calendar, Paddock, which really helped my channel. And I said to my wife, I need you to sign this form. It was to refinance the car so I could get money out of the car to buy the annual calendar. She didn't argue with me or say, geez, that's not really a good idea, Arch. She just said, yep, okay, here we go, sign it. And what happened to her is she then had a car accident in that Honda. She wrote it off, right? She changed lanes at 100 kilometers an hour. She didn't see the blind spot, and that spun her car around. And it was such a good car. The Honda Accord is a very well-made car. She survived. One airbag went off. She very luckily survived. So I actually sold the annual calendar and bought a grand piano because she loved piano. She always wanted to play piano. I thought, this is it. Sell the watch and bought the piano.
I remember this story with when you signed the inside of the Patek box to your fan as well, right?
Yes, that's correct. That's right. That's right. So I got to tell you, that's what happened there. Then what happened is I managed to buy that annual calendar back, but just having a look here. So the monogram's important to me. The green, I've always loved the tiger in the green. I always thought that was the first color. So they went into this, then they had the burgundy, then they went into other shades and that there. So the green's always been, I've always loved that green. By the way, that green I think is like an E-type Jaguar British racing sort of green. It's just such a cool green. It's the
Right.
nicest green. Then the
You know,
one next to it this is in
uh,
gold. This is a
that, by
gold.
the way. Can I show off another
Yes,
little
yes,
piece I
please,
have?
please do. Please show
This
it's
is
a pen
again,
holder.
yeah, it's their pen case in the same tiger green, with the nice suede inside.
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
They're hard to get. Those little accessories are very hard to get.
yeah.
Then there's the epi behind in the gold. That orange is actually epi gold. It's called. And
Mhm.
when you polish up the brass on that, it looks $1 million.
I know. It's they call that shape, when it's like ostrich skin strap, for example. That's also called, in the JLC lingo,
Yeah.
Jejelukuta lingo. That's also called gold. So I know that shade really well. Yeah.
And then at the end is probably my favorite of them. It's that briefcase I just showed you, the Adios with the white hardware. These are actually good buys. Many of these here are very good buys on the secondary market. I think they haven't actually gone up hugely at the moment. Mega money. These presidents, they're about $10,000 for the monogram. For the leather ones, they're about 15,000. They're really, really, really expensive.
That's right.
And they are still on the second-hand market. One of the good things about these is Hermes said luxury is something you can repair, because in this world we live in, so much stuff, it's not worth repairing. When it gets broken, like that briefcase I showed you in the photo when I was 16, the handle fell apart. You couldn't just replace the handle because it's just a generic one. It was never that special. A Louis Vuitton, you can take it in and get it repaired. Now,
Yeah, let's
the
talk a little bit about that and maybe the how you got your most recent acquisition repaired and
so
restored.
I've
Yeah.
had two repaired recently. The gold one and the green one both had the same problem. They came out of Japan. Anywhere with high humidity, the inside lining, I'll show you, the inside lining, it absorbs moisture and then it turns sticky. So where it is, it's actually the back tray here, the inside lining on this part here, it goes gooey. It's
So
inside,
this
okay?
is one. Does this one have any porno magazines inside? I hope not. Let's not get
No,
the.
no, no. I've taken them out. They're on the shelf.
All right.
So this is where it gets sticky. And what happens is, like when I say sticky, it takes about 10 years for it to happen. This one's probably too new to have that problem. But
Yeah.
after about 10, 15 years, it goes sticky because it absorbs, in a high humidity climate, it absorbs moisture. And then it goes sticky. And then it leaves this horrible goo all over your shit. Now, to replace it, I've taken it to Vuitton, and they actually charged me. They said, "Oh, to replace the interior is $1,000." I said, "No, no, no. The interior doesn't need replacing. It's just the back lining you've got to fix."
Yeah.
And that actually cost me $404 Australian, which is about 300 US, which I think is quite reasonable. That's quite reasonable to repair.
Hmm.
300 US to repair it. The piece is then perfect. If you lose a key, they can always cut another key. They're about $100. They are not cheap. Nothing with Louis Vuitton is cheap. But I got to tell you, these are beautiful. What really makes me sad is that a lot of Louis Vuitton collectors aren't really into this stuff. They want the fashion stuff, They want the man bags. They don't like these. These are the traditional. See, these came out Glasto, what's his name? I think his name was Glaston Vuitton, invented these in the 50s. He invented the president. Glasto,
GA.
he invented.
Yeah.
Yeah, he designed the president briefcase in the 50s. That's where it came from. So it's very sad they've kind of dropped it. Now I got some more pictures. Let me show you some more pictures here. So there we go. Look at, they're just beautiful. Look at them. They just, all of them are the same size, handmade. They're all done. They're all done in Paris. Look at that there. How is that not beautiful? Look at that. Different textures. Look at the textures there. That's the tiger. That's the epi tiger, and that's the monogram. Look at that. Look at the different look at the brass. The brass. If only the brass individual serial numbers. Look at this. Serial numbers on each piece. Look at this. Can you see the beauty here? I mean, they got character. They got a lot going for them, you see?
Amazing.
And
that's also the perfect size, right? Between the diplomat and president, those are the kinds of
I actually think the diplomat is actually a better size, Lord.
Yeah. I mean, I think, you know, that's because look, these were invented, the Louis Vuitton trunks were invented in mid-19th century for railroad travel and for the steamboats, right?
Yeah.
You know, they're not made for the air travel age. So anything bigger and real trunk size now has a problem with being used.
Here we go. Evan Hoggenkamp, $2. Arch, pull up the Goyard Capitaine bag. Your thoughts? I'll let you pull that up, Lord.
Of course. Now, are we talking about something vintage? My knowledge of Goyard being much more limited and contemporary, or much more limited in contemporary. Let's see.
Does
Goyard.
It come up?
Not
Capeteien, Capitan.
Let's see.
See, this is exactly what's wrong. Yeah, they're a man bag. See, that's no interest. I'll bring it up. I got it here on the screen.
Okay.
Look. These, seriously, this is exactly what's wrong with this is exactly what's wrong here. Look at this here. Look at this. Look. These are a glorified, what are they? They're a purse. What are they? They're not a hard case bag, Evan. How can you keep your porn magazines in that without getting crumpled? It's completely off center, Evan. Sorry. See, this is. I don't really want one of these man. It's a man bag. Do you like man bags?
I don't. With all due respect.
I mean, what do you think? I don't know if it's a man bag.
Look, there's a lot of Goyard that I really like. I have just sent my cigar case and wallet to them to get personalized, you know, with stripes and initials and everything. And I have this this little thing here, like a little valet, right? You know, where I put my watch.
That's beautiful. That's
and
beautiful.
cufflinks.
How much was that?
In the green, it was right around $1,000. It wasn't cheap. Wasn't cheap at all.
No, nothing's cheap with Goyard, is it? That's beautiful, but
yeah, so I have a lot of respect for the brand, but this is not really
mind
my
you,
style.
you spend $1,000, you always get your 1,000 back. You know what I mean? It's kind of money's not really wasted, is it? Is it wasted?
With Goyard and how popular they are right now, actually the secondary sellers sell them for more than what Goyard sells them for, because Goyard usually is out of stock. They make you wait weeks and weeks unless you have an account with them, and unless you have dealt with them at least a couple of times, they will make you wait even months So people who want to get them really pay the premium in the secondary market. So you can even sell it for more than what you bought for a lot of the pieces.
Plastic O'Toole, $2. Archie, you took your medicine like a man. Hashtag Tim's turn. Thank you, Plastic. Thank you, Plastic. I got to tell you there, you know what I do like in Goyard? I don't really like these soft-sided stuff, okay?
So
To
what do you?
me, hard case, hard or nothing. Hard case or nothing. Fish or cut bait. Fish or cut bait. That's what I say. Fish or cut bait.
Put it?
I tell you what I like. Let me show you what I like. I like the Goyard Palace trunk. That's what I like. Let's call this up, baby. This is what I like. I like these Palace trunks. Look at that. That's absolutely. Look at that. So they're like a suitcase, but what I've noticed that Goyard does, they have that wooden siding on it, which I absolutely love. You know what, Lord? I would love a Goyard travel case like this, hard-sided case. That's what I would love.
You know, of course, the ultimate inspiration in that is, of course, the Duke and Duchess of Windsor, who had their own personalized collection, each one of them, of these sorts of trunks. But again, you know, those were for steamliners and you know, the Orient Express or something. Nowadays, mostly people use them for decoration at their homes.
But Lord, I think you can have one hard case suitcase if you're going away. Couldn't you put that into your Beamer or your Mercedes? Wouldn't that be so cool to turn up?
You could, yeah, for driving yourself, or I mean, if you have a private jet or something, that's also a possibility. But for commercial air travel, I would rather go with a diplomat or president as your cabin.
Well, that's your cabin, but I wouldn't really check any of this stuff in. It's likely to be stolen or damaged, you know. Let me show you something. Can I show you a few things? I want to show you some stuff, okay? Can I please show you a few things? I just want to say, look, a lot of people think these things are snoot. Let me tell you this. I bought most of my stuff secondhand. Why do you think I was in secondhand? Why was I secondhand? You know why I was spruiking secondhand? Because I damn well could not afford new. Do you understand that?
Yes. So
I could not afford new. I couldn't afford this shit. Do you realize how expensive this stuff is? I can't afford to just buy this shit. I don't have unlimited money, Sunshine. Do you understand that? I do not have limited money in the least. Let me just show you. I want to bring something up here because I think a lot of people get the wrong idea. They think Archie Luxury. They don't realize, you know, I got $40 in my bank account. Actually, $20 actually less than $20 in my bank account. These pies that I have to eat in the back of the Beamer, the sausage roll and the pasty, I got to borrow some money from my wife to actually get this stuff. Did you know that?
Yeah, I mean, maybe you can make it up with the super chats, but we'll see. It remains to be seen.
Yeah, just actually, Lord, just hang on. I just want to pull something up here.
Please,
okay, I want to show you something. So there are some really good bargains. I'm going to show you. Just hang on. Just bear with me. Bear with me. Stop share. Share. Here we go. Share screen. I'm calling it up now. Here we go. I don't really want that one. I want. Oh, okay. Just hang on. I got to tell you something. The thing is, you got to realize this stuff is expensive. There is no. You got to learn the craft and buy pre-owned. Let me just share something on the screen here. This is the Green Tiger. This is
President.
these are the photos that were on eBay from Japan. Look at this. When you look at this, the brass is dulled, but you want to look at the quality. Look, there's not a pit or a mark on that hide there. Look at that. Absolutely. Little bit of edging here, but I can put a little bit of green shoe polish on there.
Of course.
Look at this. It's absolutely minty. That's the interior. They have the sticky interior, of course, right?
Sure.
But pretty, these photo, that's a terrible photo because it's so zoomed in. Of course, it's going to show blemishes. And it needs a polish. That doesn't do anything wrong. You can see the sticky shit there because this has been inside the bag. See that? That's the sticky shit I'm talking about. See that black stuff there?
I'm very familiar with it. Yes.
So what I'm trying to say is this is what you got to do. I'll just be 1 minute. Let me go and get something. 1 minute there, okay? 1 minute.
Yeah, I had a similar repair experience with Louis Vuitton recently. But what I'm going to say until the Pontiff comes back, you can find some incredible deals, especially considering what the list price of these items are. You can find some really unbelievable deals on eBay. And the price to restore them at Louis Vuitton, at the original makers, and they send it all the way back to France, is again just a fraction of the cost to buy these things new. And as Archie said, as the Pontiff put it, a lot of these items are not even available at this point. They're not part of the line of production. So you're talking about very, very salty prices, huge chunks of money to get these things new. But you can get something like this for around $1,000 on eBay. Depending on the condition, you won't have to spend more than $500 to $700 to have it restored and refurbished and brought back into its second life by Louis Vuitton themselves. And there you have it. You will basically own one of the most beautiful, one of the most choice luxury goods that a man can own for under $2,000. So if you're interested in anything like this, there's some great deals to be had. A lot of the sellers are based in Japan, right? So you will encounter that problem with the sticky inside lining in a lot of pockets that the Pontiff talked about. But it's nothing that Louis Vuitton can't fix, right? They basically replace the leather lining inside those pockets. And at the end of the day, you have something that is as good as new, if not better.
I'm back. I want to say something to you, Lord. So this particular briefcase here, right? I got this out of Japan on eBay. Yes. I think on this briefcase here, I think it was about 2,400 Australian. Okay, which is what, about 1,800, 1,900 US. Then I got nabbed. Japanese, they never lie to customs. So I got nabbed with taxes of about $450. Then the repair was 400. This is all Australian dollars. So I'm in for this thing about 3.2. I think this in perfect condition is probably worth 5 Aussie. It's worth 5 because it's perfect. I've done all the work. I've done the repairs. Brand new is 15,000 Aussie.
Yeah. That's
a second-hand dealer would sell it for half, about 7.5. That's what a dealer would sell it for. That's what I see. Let me just say something to you.
Yes, sir.
You got to remember this. Doesn't matter what you're buying. Say you want a briefcase or whatever it is you're buying, go for the best. I wanted to get a teddy bear, right? This is a teddy bear I bought. Okay.
That's a Steif.
I was in London. Of course it's a Steif. So what you do is whatever you buy, you buy the absolute best you can afford. So this is a proper Steiff teddy bear. Hey, sit down. Come down. Come down. The Steiff has the tag in the ear. So this teddy bear here, he was actually quite expensive. He was 142 pounds. But you know what? This is the original mohair version, okay? This
Nice.
here is really a collector's item. You see what I mean? So no matter what you want to buy in life, you got to buy the best, and it will really hold its value. This is not a throwaway bear. Do you see that, Lord?
No.
I
And
got something else to show you.
of course, please. And a lot of times they come up with very cute limited editions as well. Recently, they produced a 007 limited edition bear with the dinner jacket and everything. It was a sight to be seen. Let me see if I can find it.
I was just going to show you, bear. Look at this. This is called a Croffett Trésor. This originally was a mystery box to hide love letters in. Now we've had it personalized. We've had a Japanese doll painted on it. We got Japanese. That's the red and the white, and it's got an AC3 in the corner. Look at that. So this is this box here. I got to tell you, absolutely. Look at it. It's got the pink. Normally they come with a beige interior. This has got the peachy pink interior.
And I know the Pontiff likes boxes with pink interiors.
I love a box with a pink interior. Look at that. How could you not love? See, this is I bought secondhand. It was it was never cheap. These are never cheap, but they are beautiful. And there we have it. Look at this. This is the Steiff. Holy shite. Look at this.
James Bond.
So cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's
incredible. And of course, with that mark in the ear, as always.
Yeah, 007 bear. That's on eBay now. See, that's going above retail.
Yeah, it's out of stock already.
Yeah. I got to tell you that
in late
the thing is,
summer.
Let me show you some other stuff. Do you want to see some other stuff? I'll show you some other stuff here. Let's have a look. Call it up, Arch. Call it up. So obviously, one piece that I really do adore. I'll show you something I really do adore here. Is the LV watch box. The watch box. That's actually our photo in the background. Yeah. I couldn't get that. I hunted so long to get that secondhand. I hunted and hunted. I ended up buying it. We had a fundraiser. We ended up buying it. That was expensive. That was 10,000 Australian. 10,000. 9,900 to be exact. I'm glad I have it. I tell you that. I'm glad I have it. I always wanted one. Houdinki's got a Goyard one. I've gone for the LV one. Yeah. You know,
and his is a little bit of an unusual color, if I'm not mistaken. It's like either navy or some black gray kind of thing.
The only thing I don't like about his one, it's got these stupid leather straps that fold over, so you can't really display it with your watches in it. You know what I mean? I like this sort of one because you can. At the London Watch Show, so many people had these LV cases, different colors, with their watches behind a bulletproof glass. You know what I mean? They're like a great way to show off your stuff. Now let's have a look at a couple.
These are really amazing, and like you said, the popular Goyard one, the 8-watch case, that's a case, right? It's not a proper trunk. When you go for their proper trunks, which you can sometimes find in stock with the 6-watch version, those are much more expensive actually than the case, and those are some quality as well.
I think Houdinki's got the 6-watch one, I think.
Yeah, and it's the case, it's like you said with
Yes.
that carrying
Yes.
strap.
Look at this here. This is perfect. Look at this. See, that's my Padex. These are not hype Padex.
No.
In fact, that annual calendar is unloved. The world time, yeah, that's valuable. These watches here, they're not hype. These are not hype Padex, Lord. Can you see that?
Archie, 1 second. I
Yeah.
actually just got back a message from the Mr. Fox himself. He
Yes.
says, and I invited him to the show for a future episode. He said, "Why not? I love Archie Luxury. Thank you for your kind words." Mr. Fox, he
No,
says,
you're bullshitting me, aren't you?
No, let me share the screen.
Yeah, please bring it up. I can't believe this is real.
No, because most people bullshit saying like, oh, no one knows Archie Luxury, right? No one knows Archie Luxury. No one cares. Huh? Mr. Nicholas Fox.
Holy shit. That's amazing. That's amazing, Nick. Because I have spoken to John Reardon.
Yes.
And Nick Fox, I got to tell you, he's a love. I've never met the guy, but eccentric. I love eccentric people. He's very, very, very eccentric.
So we'll schedule that and have him in one of our future episodes, hopefully. That makes me really happy. But what I was going to show you, I interrupted your presentation on the Patex, and I'm sorry about that. But I just found an Italian businessman of the most distinguished kind, of course. He was mentored by Gianni Agnelli himself and was the president of Ferrari for a long time. This is Luca Cordero di Montezemolo. He usually wears Rolexes, but when he isn't wearing Rolex, look at what he wears.
5127. I love it. I love it.
In white
gold.
That's
so beautiful. That's so. I got the same one. Look at that. Yes. That's so cool.
So the ex-president, president emeritus of Ferrari, with an Archie there.
Hey, there we go. Look, I got to tell you seriously, this box. Sometimes in life, Lord, you just got to pay retail and buy it. You can't muck around. You just got to buy what you really do love there. Again, Hermes, this is my wife's pink Birkin. Ridiculously priced. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous pricing. But you know what, Lord?
Yes, sir.
Life's too short not to have some fun, don't you think?
Oh, you gotta have fun. I think that's the aspect that we forget, because look, a lot of millennials keep saying that experiences over possessions, right? I think actually the line between
but I would say, Lord, the thing is, it's the experience of buying these items is also a big experience. Going in,
once again,
you realize
you read my mind.
Let me say this. Let me say this to you, right? We were talking about that Patek the Ferrari guys got, right? Seriously. He could have any fucking watch he wanted. He could wear anything, that guy, right? The head of Fiat Ferrari Group. He could wear anything he wanted, but he chose that Patek. You understand, Lord? This is the stuff the super rich, the most famous people in the world, they choose. There is nothing better. This is it. You understand? This is it. This is it. See, have a look at this shelf in here, Lord. And I'll tell you a secret. See this photo here, Lord?
Yes, sir.
This is why I wanted the Steiff bears, because I want to improve the quality of the animals in the cabinet, okay? I've also got some Jim Thompson. You see the elephant is Jim Thompson and the small bear is Jim Thompson as well there. Just they're also quite nice. Let me just tell you something. In this photo here, what did we buy new? You know what we bought new in this photo here? I can tell you. So the Birkin, the black Birkin, that was secondhand, pre-owned. The Croffett Trésor, that was secondhand. The pink Birkins, that was pre-owned. The Cali, pre-owned. The jewelry box, I got that on eBay from Japan.
Hmm.
The garden party, that came from an ex-lover. I bought it from her. The only thing I bought new was this little LV pochette here. See, that's the LV. Well, we bought that new. And the Twillies, we bought
Yes.
those new from the Hermes store.
So one
You
thing
don't
I
have.
wanted what I wanted to say before you went into this is, the millennials insist experiences over possessions, but I think the line is not so strict, not so rigid between them, because there are so many experiences that you can have with luxury goods, as long as you don't treat them exclusively as possessions, as part of a stowaway collection that's kept in a safety deposit box. There's so much you can do with wristwatches, especially in integrating them to your lifestyle, in wearing them on a day-to-day basis, changing around straps, combining them with different occasions and different outfits. So experiences can be had with some prized possessions, and maybe that in fact heightens the emotional quality of that experience. So I completely agree.
Let me say this to you, Lord. The thing is this. One thing rich and poor people do, we have the same amount of time. Generally speaking, humans in the developed world, we live for somewhere between 70 and 80 years. Agree, Lord?
Yeah, I would be lucky to make it to 70, but yeah, let's go from there.
Okay. So let's be honest there. What do you want to do in life? Do you want to, me and you, Jamie Opulence, experience and treasure? Don't settle for anything less. Demand and get both experiences and
Right.
treasures. There you go. Tell me this, Lord. I'll show you something, Lord. Okay, so this here is my. It's not a brand name wallet, but it's still a nice little pen holder. The Cartier pen. You know what, Lord? Do I want to use a disposable Bic, or do I want to use a Cartier pen to sign shit? I'm going to use this over and over and over again. Do I want the cheapest pen I can buy, or do I want something I look at and say, far out, that's beautiful? Look at even the Cartier name embossed on the clip there. What do you want, Lord? What do you want? Do you want to go through life using the cheapest possible pen? You know what? Why don't you? My advice to people who say that is this. Why don't you buy a Hyundai i30? Go and buy a Hyundai i30, okay? Buy one of those, okay? Hyundai i30 in white. Get a Camry or a Corolla. Get the cheapest possible, car you can last forever. Buy the cheapest food. Eat macaroni and cheese. Eat ramen noodles. Drink water. You don't need soft drink. You don't need beer. You don't need wine. Get the cheapest possible beverages you can go.
Yeah.
Wear secondhand clothes. Don't even bother. Just wear them until they're, You know what, Lord? Don't travel anywhere. Travel's a waste of money. Stay home and work. And at the end of your days, you might have a big pile of cash. What a wasted life. I got to tell you something, Lord. I find it very sad. Like when you see a Ferrari that's got like 500 kilometers on it, never driven, you think, what a sad thing that someone hasn't enjoyed it and loved it and driven it and experienced. Yankee Doodle, $2. Art, show us your wallet. Why not buy a new one? My wallet's just here, actually. Actually, this is my LV wallet. It's a little bit tatty, but you know what? The beautiful thing of this wallet is it's an LV wallet. I've had this for over 20 years, almost 20 years. I bought it secondhand. It was always tatty when I bought it. The thing is, so what? It's got character, see? It doesn't matter. It's just, it is a bit tatty, I agreed, But you know what? Still got a bit of life left in it, Lord. It's got good memories. I've been to many places with this wallet. Do you understand that, Lord? It
Absolutely.
tells a story. This tells a story. I've been many places with this wallet. So I got to tell you, I've also got a new BMW wallet I bought. It's in the car. It's in the car with my license. Getting back to this photo here, I didn't buy this stuff new, pre-owned. I buy a lot of stuff. Look, these are beautiful. I like to buy nice condition. I I like these Hermes. They've just been lightly used. They got a little bit of wear, but it's honest. It's been used and loved. It hasn't been museum piece. That's what I love about this. This is, do you know, that's over 10 years old, that gray, Kelly. They're timeless. This is the best stuff. That's the jewelry box. Have a look there. That's some of the Cartier jewelry I bought my wife. Again, expensive, very, very expensive jewelry. But you know what? It does hold its own. You get a percentage. I also believe in some smell. I bought these perfumes for my wife. Look at this. This is her perfume collection. We've got Cartiers. We've got all sorts. Hermes. That's the Hermes line. Chopard. We got Ferragamo, Chanel. That's expensive Chanel. That's the concentrate one. You got to enjoy life and sample these things. What do you think, Lord? You want to sample the best, don't you?
Absolutely. Also, just
frankincense, the Arabs, the Persians, they had big thing in the smells. The smells are amazing. The smell is one of these senses I absolutely love. Look at this. So this connection here, that's all love stuff.
The little pleasures that I have here in downtown LA is that Little Tokyo is just steps away. So I constantly go there to get some new Japanese incense. I just love it. But one thing I wanted to point out is how that jewelry trunk matches your watch box. The one with Cartier jewelry for your wife.
Yes. That was we sort of look. That was lucky. What happened is I ended up getting the red for the jewelry box for the watch box, and then this came up on eBay a couple months later. I was a little bit short of money, but I stretched. I really stretched to buy this, and we've got matching. Because what happened is when I got the jewelry, when I got the watch box, I said to my wife, she came with me and we saw the hard case. She said, you know what? I would like one of these jewelry boxes with the fuchsia. She wanted the fuchsia interior. But what happened was, because I like to buy secondhand, beggars can't be choosers. Guess what happened? I found one with the red interior. And I said, right, that means we got the red interior, they match, and then we started getting some Cartier jewelry. You see what I mean? Because the Cartier, look, I got to tell you, if you're going to buy branded jewelry, it holds its value. Cartier jewelry holds its value much, much more than non-branded jewelry. Like Tiffany jewelry is also the same, except I would just say stay away from the silver. I'm not a big fan of the silver. I always think you've got to at least get the precious metals. You want to get the precious. You don't necessarily.
Cartier, these are timeless when it comes to jewelry, for sure. Super chat.
You were talking about experiences. Experiences. You think experiences are important, don't you?
Yes.
You don't need to spend.
Before we move on there.
Sorry, what was that?
There's a super chat.
Mr. Tudor, to you, $2. What's a reasonable dollar for a president on eBay? I reckon, seriously, they've all got the fucked interior. I would look at getting the best leather structure. You want the leather without blemishes on the leather. They're all got the fucked interior, but Louis Vuitton can repair that simply. I would say my own wording would be about 2 to 3,000 US for a really, really nice one. That's what I'd try and get a Japanese buyer because they tend to look after their shit a bit
And
better.
they're also very honest with the condition. They take very good
I want to show you
photographs.
something. Lord, you're talking about experiences. Okay, let me show you an experience. See this pen? I bought this pen. I showed you the pen before. Because I'm a good customer at Cartier. Look what they gave me when we went to pick up the pen. How's that, Lord?
Amazing.
Champagne with the pen. Is that an experience? Having champagne in Cartier? Is that an experience or not?
For sure.
You're going to forget that in your life?
No, and again, the company is very important. You are there.
Look at this.
with
We're
your
sitting there
beautiful
in
wife.
Cartier with the wife getting the pen. How is that? Look at that. You can't get better than that. You see? That's living. You see, that is living. That is living. Do you see what I mean, Lord? That
Love it.
is living to the fullest. You want to live the max. You want to go to the Pepsi max. That's what you want. You want to live life, take it to the line. Pepsi. You want to go. You want to live life to the fullest. So many people, Lord, are stingy. You've got to be, I think the most important relationship you have, Lord, is the relationship you have with yourself. Okay?
Absolutely.
You've got to be kind to yourself. You understand, Lord?
Very well put, sir.
Because at the end of the day, you got to forgive yourself. Everybody makes mistakes. They fuck things up. Hey, that is very, very true. And what you need to do is forgive yourself. You need to forgive yourself and say, hey, that's okay. It's not the end of the world if things didn't work out. It's not a complete disaster. You got to remember this, Lord, because I think in this, we've only got limited time on earth. You've only got limited time. And you want to be kind to yourself.
Without any comment or question, Graham Spanker, thank you for the
Graham, thank you so much.
You know, like to be able to make peace, to be able to make sense of the past and to look towards the future with that sense of peace and calmness, I think it's the best gift you can have in life. You know, everything else is, of course, like we said, it's lifestyle, it's experience, it's luxury, but that's the core of your existence as a human being on this earth, for sure. I agree.
100%, Lord. And I mean, look, things aren't always easy. Don't get me wrong. Things can be really tough at times. We make mistakes, we fuck things up. Life isn't always super easy. It's difficult. And I got to be honest with you, Lord. You're living a good life, aren't you? You're happy. You got a nice life. You need a few luxury goods. I think you got to have some balance. You don't want to go extreme. You don't want to go extreme collecting at all costs. You got to have some balance. And I think that's the key things. Lord, what we might do is, I tell you what I'd like to do. Next time we do a stream together, we might look at buying some bargains on eBay. We'll go and look around at some secondhand stores together, and we'll pick a few bargains, and we'll see what's a good one, what's a shit one to get. We'll have a look at a few. Let's do that next time.
I also so two things. I also reached out to Mr. Fawkes already and told him, look, we will schedule around you. Just give us a time in the month of
please. I'll do anything, anytime. I'll wake up at 2 a.m. to get Folksy on, okay?
Of course.
That'd be an absolute honor to get folks on the stream. Absolutely.
And
can I tell you something? Can I tell you something? Please, let me just say something to you. You don't realize this, okay?
Can I be honest with you, Ben? Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
I want to say something to you, okay?
Please,
I don't know
sir.
if you know this. You probably don't realize this, but okay, that Folks guy, right? You look at my Patek collection, right? He wrote an article in 2000. I've got the magazine. I got the Patek magazine. He said you could start a modern collection with a 5107, 5035, 5110, and he also mentioned a 5134. That's the only one I haven't got. That's the travel time Calatrava. But this collection here is based on his article, Folks's article, because I remember reading and thinking, you know what? He was talking, this was when the 5035 was still a current model. He was saying, you know, this could be a great, he was saying the 5107 could be a great cornerstone of a collection. It could be for somebody who it's their first Patek, or it could be a Patek after many, many other Pateks you add.
And Ponte, of course, you know, for those of our viewers who don't necessarily know this, Nicholas Fawkes and the advice he gives on collecting Pateks, this is not just one random guy. This is the guy who penned the authorized history of the brand, right? When you buy that Patek Philippe history book, that's the author.
I just bought this. This is the book. This is by Folks, wasn't it? This one here.
Yes, he has an introduction there. That's right.
He's probably the greatest luxury goods writer of all time. The greatest luxury goods writer. Probably him and John Reardon.
Are absolute authorities on Patek for sure. Yeah.
I would say John Reardon is brilliant. Folks is just eccentric. He's the quintessential Englishman. I actually wanted to go to. He does his cigar smoking at Clarence's, that, you know, that posh hotel.
Claridge's.
Sorry, Claridge's. I wanted to go there, but I ran out of time. Gun Glutton, $5. Bought an unworn Datejust 41 two-tone fluted champagne dial on Jubilee as my one and done. David SW. It's a great watch.
David SW.
I got to tell you, I think the 41 is an amazing. That's a beautiful. Actually, I went yesterday. I got the spinners for my.
Wearing, by the way, let's do a.
I am wearing the. Of course, I am wearing the Sky Dweller. The Sky.
That's the
Sky Dweller. Sky Dweller.
Amazing. And
I went to BMW yesterday because I had to swap a part over. Ooh, 5513. Beautiful. That's your dad's, wasn't it? Was that your dad's?
Yes, sir. It's my daddy's watch.
That's incredible. See, you have to breed and have kids that pass this shit down to. You know that?
Yes, sir. If I find, you know,
the lizard is getting old. You've got to start finding someone to mate with, lizard.
That's true, sir.
I got to tell you seriously, that'll be amazing. You tell Nick if we can get Nick Folks on anytime. Just set it up, please. Set it up, and he's an absolute legend. The guy is an absolute hero of mine. You know, I met the heroes. I haven't met. Who did I really want to meet in life? I didn't really want to meet Tom Cruise. I wanted to meet Terry Stern.
Yes.
I wanted to talk to John Reardon, and the next person is Nick Folks. Those three. Yeah.
If I'm able to deliver, it would be an absolute pleasure.
That's absolutely amazing. That's amazing.
And look, we already have something from him. I love Archie Luxury, and I'm actually not surprised because he's a rare bird, like you. Like you said, he's an eclectic man. You can talk to him about cigars. You can talk to him about shooting suits, even though he's not actually interested in the sport of shooting. You can talk to him about Patek,
Yeah.
any other vintage watch brand. He's just a wealth of information and a great conversationalist to boot. So it would be such a great occasion.
Lord, we might wrap this up. We've gone over an hour. We got to save stuff for the next show. I reckon let's get Nick Folks on. That'd be amazing. The other thing is also we could have a look around at some bargains at the moment. We could look around and see some bargains. So let me run the outro and just stay there. I'll chat to you afterwards. Let me run the outro and we'll wrap it up. Here we go.